The AfroPrenuer podcast, a podcast for African entrepreneurs, presents inspiring, innovative, and disruptive entrepreneurs from Africa as they share their lessons, insights, and learnings from their unique entrepreneurial ventures. I'll be your host. My name is Ogweno Stephen. Let's roll. Welcome to another episode of the AfroPrenuer podcast for the African entrepreneur, where we talk about entrepreneurship in Africa, discussing with incredible entrepreneurs from the continent on their experiences in the entrepreneurship journey, their lessons, and what they've learned as entrepreneurs that you could apply in your entrepreneurial journey and in your life. And today we are joined by an incredible guest. This is Mr. Timothy Igonga, and he'll be talking to us a bit about his entrepreneurship journey. But before that, Timothy, would you want to introduce yourself and let us know who is Timothy?
My name is Timothy Inga. I am an entrepreneur from Mombasa, Kenya. Mm-hmm. I am dealing in logistics, transport, and I do a bit of investments here and there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what have been your biggest challenges starting a business in Kenya, and what are the biggest challenges that you've experienced as an entrepreneur in the African continent?
When I was starting, it was actually a challenge. Mm-hmm. Now I just use it. It's corruption. Mm-hmm. So when I was starting, when I was putting my car onto the road the first day, mm-hmm. I was told that you have to pay the police. Mm-hmm. For it, I had everything on that is right, mm-hmm. but I was told to pay the police, and mm-hmm. I refused. Mm-hmm. So the next day they arrested my car, mm-hmm. and took it in. Mm-hmm. So I was working at a bank at that particular point in time, mm-hmm. so I could not go. So I sent my cousin. Mm-hmm. My cousin went there and was asked, "Are you the owner of the car?" Mm-hmm. Said no. Call the owner of the car. Mm-hmm. So he went and looked for another cousin. Mm-hmm. Then my other cousin went and was asked, "Are you the owner of the car?" And he said no. Call the owner of the car. Mm-hmm. So they decided to look for another cousin again. Mm-hmm. And now this other cousin, when he went and was asked, "Are you the owner of the car?" Mm-hmm. And he said no. Mm-hmm. He was arrested and taken to a police post in the middle of nowhere. Mm. So now I have to remove my car and I have to pay for my lost cousin. Now I have to look for my lost cousin. Mm-hmm. So from that day on, the moment I paid for the car, mm-hmm. and I paid for my cousin, mm-hmm. we became friends with the police. Mm-hmm. So when I was starting, corruption was a challenge. Mm-hmm. Now I just deal with it. Mm-hmm. every day, and I just know this is what has to be done. Mm-hmm. Pay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So that what other challenge have you faced as an entrepreneur?
Apart from corruption and just corruption. Okay, for me corruption was a challenge. Now, mm-hmm. it's not. Mm-hmm. Probably I'd say recruiting people, mm-hmm. Recruiting staff or good qualified staff, mm-hmm. and the other thing I would say is capital. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
getting access to capital.
Not getting access to capital. Mm-hmm. Getting access to capital, if your business is working, mm-hmm. you will get access to capital. Mm-hmm. Getting access to enough capital. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be the challenge.
That would be the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Briefly, what would be some of your biggest highlights as an entrepreneur? What have been the biggest accomplishments and achievements that you've learned as an entrepreneur?
What I've learned is that sometimes you have to manage your growth. Mm-hmm. As much as your business is doing well, mm-hmm. you need to be able to have systems that help you manage your growth, mm-hmm. to avoid collapse. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're not able to manage that fast growth, mm-hmm. then it will lead to even faster collapse. Mm-hmm. Because now you're making a lot of money, but you're also losing twice as much. Mm-hmm. So faster collapse. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And I guess finally this would be, what is it about systems that you see as a fundamental part of growing a business?
I think it helps you manage everything. Mm-hmm. Because initially, when I started I started the business, I had no systems at all. Yeah, so I didn't have systems of collecting money. I didn't have systems of invoicing. You just call me, I give you a rate, and that is it. So the first problem I faced was, since I have no systems, I had to use the other company systems. So I have a loan of several millions or something. And the other company system says that they are going to be paying me every quarter. Every month I have to pay this loan. So because I don't have systems, I didn't have any proposal to tell to the other company. I didn't tell them,
this is how I want
the business to operate. So I was only using their own systems. So their own systems led to me collapsing. Yeah.
Interesting. What is one of your favorite quotes and why?
My favorite quote would be the best or nothing. And that is because you either do your best in anything or you don't do anything at all. Yeah, so that is it.
All right. Yeah, and that's a very sweet way to summarize it. Be the best or don't do it at all.
Or don't do it at all.
All right. Interesting philosophy there. All right, thanks for listening, and that's a wrap for this episode. For more exciting episodes like this, don't forget to follow our podcast, the AfroPrenuer Podcast, on all streaming sites, and visit our website at www.ogwenostephen.com. See you on the next one.